What is up, everybody? Today is a very special episode. I will be riding solo today on the Start Build Grow Show, and we are going to be talking about the 60-60 challenge that we've created.
JobNimbus is a fully customizable back office solution.
Track leads, jobs, tasks from one easy-to-use software.
And with the largest ecosystem of integrated partners, if we don't do it, we have a friend who does.
Learn how the #1 back office system in roofing
Can help you be efficient, be organized, be professional, and be profitable.
Roofers, you want at least 5 solid lead gen tactics building chemistry. Let's say you have door knocking, referral systems, job site branding, and you add in aggressive SEO, paid ads, and boom! Smells like more leads. Hookagency.com.
All right, everybody, welcome in to this episode of the Start Build Grow Show. As I mentioned, I'm riding solo today, but this one is pretty unique and exciting for me because, you know, as many of you listened, I'm a big believer in self-improvement, right? I mean, my mission in life is to, be the best leader I can be. I understand that it's a lifelong journey to be a great leader, that I'll probably never get there, but I want to try to be the best version of myself and be a great leader and just get incrementally better each and every day. And on top of that, in doing that myself, I feel like called and led, and why we do the podcast and why we do the Roofing Academy and why we work with so many leaders and CEOs in the roofing and construction space is to develop other leaders, to help leaders get better. I truly believe that if we really want to be successful in life, that we have to grow as leaders, and that I've seen it time and time again. If the leader gets better, the company gets better, right? So that's what this show is all about. That is kind of my purpose in life. And I want to kind of start doing a little bit more of these, solo podcasts to talk about that. But this episode specifically, we are talking about something that I've come up with. I've actually been thinking about this for, my first time I came up with the idea was, probably over a year ago, just, in passing, just kind of bringing it up to my wife. And as you know, I've done some challenges in the past. I did 75 hard and stuff like that. And it was really great for what it was. And I got a lot out of it. And, I think there's other ways and other things to do to kind of shift it and change it up a little bit with a little bit more intentionality with regards to leadership and what we're trying to do as leaders and to grow our businesses as CEOs of construction companies, roofing companies, or just anybody in general who wants to create an environment to help them improve each and every day and hold themselves accountable to be the best version of themselves. So what we came up with is the 60-60 challenge. And what it is a 60-day challenge. And the whole premise and the focus is to be intentional about growing your personal self, growing yourself, getting better individually, like your mind, body, spirit, and also growing your health. So the whole idea is I'm going to challenge you. I'm doing the challenge myself as well. And for anybody who does want to join me, I encourage you to join. We're going to have a Facebook group and really have a lot of accountability and get a lot of the community involvement with it. And the idea here is spend 60 minutes a day working on your health and spend 60 minutes a day working on yourself. So what that means is, from the health side of things, first and foremost, water is vitally important. I mean, especially if you're going to be working out and working on your health, water is vitally important. So I decided to, in the context of the 60-60 challenge, so you'll see some correlations there. I decided to do a minimum 120 ounces of water per day. And why we ended up with 120 ounces and not the gallon that a lot of people have. Sure, if you want to do a gallon, by all means, do a gallon. A gallon is 128 ounces. I did 120 ounces because it's actually a little bit easier. Maybe this shouldn't be easier, but for me, I carry around a 40 ounce bottle of water. And it's great to be able to know that I have to finish that thing 3 times per day. And that's 120 ounces. That's still a lot of water, a great amount of water to replenish your body, because water is so vitally important to all of these things that we're talking about, to your mental health, to your physical health, to your spiritual health. So starts with water. Can make a commitment to drink 120 ounces of water per day. That doesn't mean you can't drink more. A gallon, sure. If you can do a gallon, great. But at least 120 ounces is what we are committing to. The next piece is physical health. So 60 minutes a day working on your physical health. Okay, studies show that being outside in nature for 20 minutes does wonders for the things we're talking about, for your mental health, for your physical health, for your spiritual health, to be out and one in nature. So I really encourage, it's not necessarily mandatory. And the reason I didn't do this is because this is a 7-day a week. This is 60 days, every single day challenge. And I know when I've done other challenges in the past, like the weekends, and there's times with traveling and conferences and stuff, that it's not necessarily just hard. It's going to be hard. This is not an easy challenge, but I wanted to give a little bit of flexibility here, because there's going to be certain days. And I know in particular, I mean, I'm in a state where it's really cold, and we got 2 feet of snow or a foot of snow on the ground, and that's really difficult to follow. And people can fail for those sort of reasons to have to be outside. It's highly encouraged. Okay. We'll say it that, highly encouraged to spend at least 20 minutes working out outside. Okay. And this isn't just a casual stroll. Okay. If you're out there walking, if you're running, if you're, doing an actual workout outside somewhere, be intentional about it. If you're walking, be very intentional about your walk, and try to have good pace and make sure that you're actually getting, good, your heart rate's getting up and you're really doing it the right way. But 60 minutes, it can be separated. So if you want to do, 40 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon, that's fine. Or if you wanted to do 60 minutes all at once, that's fine. But it just has to be 60 minutes every single day. So whether you do it all at once or you break it up, that is actually your choice on this particular challenge. I know for me, I like to break it up a little bit. Usually my workouts are 30 to 45 minutes. And then I really like to do an outdoor activity, whether it's running or jogging or doing an intentional walk. So I like the outdoors. I think that 20 minutes outdoors is really good for your soul. So I really encourage that you do at least 20 minutes of that 60 outdoors. The next piece is working on yourself. Okay. And this is really kind of more working on your mind and in your self, awareness and your mental strength and your mental health, if you will. So this is, a combination of things. So 60 minutes. And again, it can be broken up or it can be done all at once. The idea here is, we're trying to train ourselves to have great habits and create a great daily routine. And in order to have a great daily routine, it starts in the morning. So I really encourage you to really look at this piece of it and figure out how to create a great morning routine that you can stand by each and every day while you're doing this challenge. The whole objective here is to create a habit for yourself that then carries on past the challenge. So there's a couple things when I refer to, you're working on yourself. And what this means for me is reading books, not just fictional, but reading nonfiction, personal development, leadership development type of books. Any sort of book that's going to help you grow as a person qualifies. If you're going to listen, okay, you can listen, but this doesn't mean just subconsciously listening to a podcast or listening to an Audible while driving or just randomly listening to stuff. If you're going to listen, you need to be intentional about it. Okay, I've learned that if I just cram and listen to books, I get very, very little retention out of that. But if you're going to listen, yes, you can listen. In this challenge, you can listen. That does come up. But if you're going to listen, I want you to have a notebook in front of you, taking notes and making sure that you're listening intentionally. And if that's too hard for you, open a real book and actually read that book. Highlight. I encourage you to have a notebook and taking notes, no matter whether you're reading a book or listening to a book. But make sure you're doing it intentionally. You're actually retaining and applying the information that you are taking in. Another component of this is meditation. and you can meditate 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however, you feel comfortable with, but there's some incredible, positive, effects in your emotional well-being, your mental well-being when you take intentional time to meditate. So whether it's a few minutes or 30 minutes or even a whole hour, maybe one day a week or something, but I encourage meditation, at least a few minutes of meditation. The next one is prayer. Prayer counts. Prayer, this is a journey on, working on our mind, our body, and our spirit. And, if you're a believer and somebody that really, believes in the power of prayer, I encourage prayer. I encourage you spending some time in prayer and or reading the Bible as well. The next piece is journaling. So, there's also something to be said about like taking your thoughts in your mind and putting them out on paper. So I encourage you to have a journal, have a notebook for all of this. Notebook and document the books you're reading, do some journaling. But all these things are focused on working on yourself, working on your mental health. So, you can break it up however you see fit. Maybe 20 minutes. Maybe it's 20 minutes of, a prayer and meditation one day, 20 minutes of reading, 20 minutes of, journaling. That's fine. But it's up to you how you coordinate and how you correlate and create that daily, routine or that morning routine. Ideally, you're doing this in the morning. But the key is you must make a commitment and execute 60 minutes working on yourself every single day. Next, diet. Okay. We're going to be focusing on our health. We're going to be putting our body through the ringer and really focus on getting our body into a good, healthy place. We're drinking lots of water. We also need to follow a diet. That's up to you what diet you choose to follow. Pick a diet that works for you and stick to that diet. Whether you're cutting things out or you're picking a specific, diet that you can follow online or something like that. But you pick the diet. But the key here is you must stick to that diet every day and hold yourself accountable to that diet. The next thing is health, one of the things that really takes away from our physical and our mental health, alcohol. Whether it's casual, hey, I'm drinking a beer or a couple of beers on the weekends, or, beer every night with dinner, or every other day, or a couple of days a week. I know me, I'm a casual beer drinker. I like to have beer, a couple times a week, maybe with dinner, or if I go out on the weekend or something. I don't drink heavy, but just that casual drinking, that alone puts a lot of unnecessary calories in your body to not help you mentally or physically, but it also contributes to poor mental health as well. So there's a lot of things a lot of benefits to eliminating alcohol from our system, from our body. So we're going to do that. No alcohol, 60 days, no alcohol. That doesn't mean you can, have that one slip up day or you got that wedding, you got that trip. This is a commitment. This is going to be challenging so make that commitment. No alcohol for 60 days. Next, we also, in addition to the no alcohol, we're going to make a sacrifice. Something in our life we're also going to sacrifice in addition to the alcohol. And it's up to you to choose what that is. What is something that is holding you down, or maybe like we all know, right when I say that, hey, we're going to sacrifice something. I know there's things that pop into people's minds that they think about, like, man, this is something I'm spending way too much time on, something that's distracting me, something that's not contributing to my well-being that I'm doing on a daily basis. We're going to cut that out of our lives. What can we sacrifice? What can we eliminate and cut out of our lives? For some of you, maybe it's social media. Maybe it's scrolling. Maybe it's caffeine. Maybe a lot of caffeine going. Maybe it's sugar. Maybe it's soda. Maybe it's something that's unhealthy, that's not good for you. TV. Maybe it's TV. That sort of thing. So I'm most likely, I'm going to do a couple of these, but one of the things that I think it kind of inhibits my ability to really get up and have an incredible morning routine is having a TV on in the room before bed. So one of the things I'm going to eliminate is unplug the TV in my room. Not going to have any TV. Another thing, I've already gotten rid of a couple of social media channels, and I'm going to only have just absolutely necessary ones. And the only really social media I'll be doing is on the group that we have for the 60/60 challenge, because that's the support group. We can post in there and share our journey. But I eliminated Instagram. I eliminated some of the other social medias that I'm just not going to scroll. I'm just not going to spend the time doing that. So that's my commitment. So that's just some ideas. find something that you can sacrifice that you know is a little bit of a vice of yours, that you can make that sacrifice. Now, lastly, how do we apply all this? How are we going to make all this happen and actually execute this challenge? Now, you can click a link. There's going to be a link below or above or somewhere on the wherever you're seeing this content, and click that link and you can download a tracker. So it's going to have exactly the rules of what the 60/60 challenge is. It's also going to have a tracker so you can check off each and every day what that looks like, of how your progress is. Cause I know it's easy to make this sort of thing and make a challenge, make a commitment to something like this, but it's easy to lose track. It's easy, but what day am I on? Those sort of things. So we've created a tracker, and it's simple. You just print it out, put it somewhere in bathroom, on your mirror, put it somewhere on your desk, somewhere where you can track every single day. And you just check off every single day as you make these commitments, as you drink your water, as you do your physical workout, as you do your mental, personal stuff, your diet, and whatever you've eliminated. You just check that off each and every day. And there's 60 days on here. And once you're complete, you know you've done it. That way you can hold yourself accountable. The next thing is, one of the things I came up with last year, and this is an incredible exercise to check in with yourself to see the progress that you're making. And I believe strongly that there's kind of 5 pillars or 5, areas in life that we should be focusing on. And, balance, work, there's this, facade out there that work-life balance. It comes up all the time. It's cliche. And I don't believe it truly exists. I heard something the other day, on this topic about, how work-life balance doesn't really exist, but work-life integration does. And what we're trying to do is integrate, the really important things in our life to then work towards what our ideal is of balance and get to a healthier place. You might not be fully balanced. You probably never will be, but what we can do is get better. What we can do is create habits to make our life a little better. So what we're doing here is I created what's called the weekly personal balance sheet. Everyone, there's a lot of business people out there, you know what a balance sheet is. This is a weekly personal balance sheet. So it's the personal balance sheet. So it's also going to be part of the package that you download. And what I want you to do is spend a little bit of time every single week doing this exercise. And what this exercise includes is checking in on the 5 key elements of a healthy lifestyle. And that's mind, body, spirit, family, and business. In that order. Checking in with yourself mentally. What you're going to do is you're going to give yourself a rating. You're going to say, how am I doing mentally? Give yourself a rating from 1 to 10. 1 means I'm in a really dark, really bad place. 10 means cloud 9. Life couldn't be any better. So what you're going to do is give yourself a rating. You're going to write out a couple words to describe why you gave yourself that rating. So these are feelings of, this is the reason why I gave myself a 6 or a 7, or write out just some descriptive feeling words. Yes, I said that. We're going to dive into our feelings a little bit here and write that out. And then what you're going to do is write a statement as to why you gave those feelings. So rating, a couple words describing it, and then a statement describing where you are right now in this place. And what you're going to do, the day you start the 60/60 challenge, you're going to do this exercise. You're going to go through mind, body, spirit, family, and business. You're going to give yourself a rating for each one of those. You're going to write out the feelings as to why you gave yourself that rating. And then you're going to write a sentence as to, what a statement kind of backing that up as to why, almost like a little tweet, if you will. Then the last piece of this is you're going to set goals for each one to move the needle. Okay, if I gave myself a 7, what habit can I do this week to get myself to a 7.5? What habit can I implement? What goal can I set for myself mentally to get myself to an 8 or a 9 or even a 10, right? So if I know, and part of the challenge, you're already doing these things, but this is just a way to kind of check in with yourself throughout the journey. And we're going to do the personal balance sheet, the week 1 at the end of each week, right? Week 1, week 2, week 3. So at the beginning of each week, actually at the beginning, yes. At the beginning of each week, I want you to do this balance sheet kind of exercise and check in with yourself and give yourself an honest assessment at where you are and what improvements you're having. And the whole idea here is we're creating good habits for ourselves, to then have good balance, to grow as individuals, to grow our health, to grow ourself, to grow our spirit, which will ultimately help us become better leaders for our companies, better leaders for our families, and just better leaders for ourselves. That is what the 60/60 challenge is all about. I encourage you guys to really, join us as we do this. We're launching the first week. And again, you can do this at any time, right? But we're going to bring a group together. I know my entire team and a lot of their spouses were really rallying to get this thing going. And we're launching March 1st. So if you'd like to join us, let us know. Download the worksheet, download the tracker. We give it all to you at once. It's all free. And we're also going to create a Facebook group for accountability to check in and discuss and track our progress. And I really look forward to connecting with you and having, maybe just one person at least join me on this journey. And if you feel so inclined to really do something to kind of shock your system, do something to really move the needle and set yourself up for an incredible year, an incredible growth journey, personally and mentally and physically, this is the challenge for you. I can't wait to see you. Thank you so much for listening. And if you like the solo podcast, like me kind of jumping on here for a little bit of a shorter podcast, I encourage you to like, share, subscribe, comment, reach out to myself or anyone on our team. We can't wait to connect with you and go on this journey with you together. Take care. Have a great day, and God bless.